This week's guest on the Boneyard podcast, y'all, we're very pleased to welcome in none other than Cal State Fullerton head coach, former ECU pitching coach, Coach Jason Dietrich. Coach, how's it going, my friend?
Good. How you guys doing? Appreciate you having me on.
Doing well. Pleasure's all ours.
For sure. So, I mean, you're traveling cross country this week. I know that the season's kind of just getting started for y'all. I mean, how's it been the first 2 weeks for you now preparing to go cross country?
The first couple of weeks been interesting, so to speak. We have a whole new team for the most part. I mean, a lot of new guys and experienced guys. So we're just trying to figure out who can do what, give them opportunities. Played at Stanford, did well there, but they're kind of in the rebuild, so to speak, too. They're kind of rebuilding also. And then this last weekend against Fresno State, I thought Fresno State was a solid team. They did a good job. Their starting pitching did well against us. And, again, we just got things to work on and learn. But play tomorrow against Loyola Marymount and then hop on Wednesday to head out to North Carolina. I know I'm excited. Our team's excited to play against three quality opponents, but also to go back to Greenville to see a lot of familiar faces and some friends there. Myself and my family, we're looking forward to it.
Love to hear that.
Yeah. And Coach, talking about Cal State Fullerton, obviously that's one of the most storied programs, in the history of college baseball. 4 national championships, 18 College World Series appearances. What is it like to be the head guy for such a historic program in Cal State Fullerton? What is it like being, that head guy, and what is the culture you're trying to set, being the head man there?
Well, first and foremost, it's very humbling. I'm very appreciative and thankful for this opportunity. I had a chance to be an assistant here. I grew up around the program, going to games, so I kind of saw the style, and to follow in those footsteps of Augie Garrido and Larry Cashel and George Horton and Dave Serrano and Rick Vanderhook. Those are big shoes to fill. You got some Hall of Fame coaches right there. But that's, like I said, that's the blessing and the appreciation I have is the respect also I have for the program to come back to be able to lead it. It's like I said, I always pinch myself at times, but I've been thankful. And then what we're trying to do is just, like I said, it's easy to kind of, you got to dig in and figure out what's going on here when I first came back. And then we're just the culture we're creating, just, working hard, being accountable, doing things right on and off the field. A lot of things, that I've picked up from all the coaches I've worked for, with Cliff Godwin, obviously being a guy I took a lot of good things from. He helped me tremendously along with the other coaches I've worked for, but that's the stuff we're implementing. We want to play the game hard. Fundamentals are at a high level. The details are important. So this is a program, like I said, we're excited, but I think this year is going to be, we're just going to have to grind through some, not ups and downs, but just there's going to be a big learning curve because we're just trying to figure out with a bunch of young guys that we just got to be patient with them and help them grow, help them develop. And we're excited, like I said, we're excited to play this week, but also just see the progression of who we can make from here on out.
Yeah. For
sure. Yeah. And you talk about being a young team. You do have 2 junior outfielders that I want to touch on, Colby Wallace and Moises Guzman. I mean, they seem to be hitting the ball well. Talk to us a little bit about those 2 guys. Are they the ones that are kind of leading your offense? Maybe some guys that ECU should be aware of this weekend?
Yeah, Moy Guzman is a guy that played a good amount last year for us. He's one of the 3 returning position players that we had that got a lot of at-bats and experience. He had a kind of rough fall. He hurt his back. So he's coming back into it, but he's someone that brings energy, plays hard, someone that we're going to count on. Colby Wallace didn't have too many at-bats last year, but that's, as you know, sometimes hopefully it just takes them to get confidence and more experience. And he's starting off the season pretty good. He's someone that he looks the part. He's physical, big left-handed hitter. It's just a matter of him getting out there, and we're going to keep playing him and figure out what he can do. And hopefully he can stay within himself and continuously grow. This game's about confidence. So hopefully he can keep on, have some quality ABs and kind of just be a mainstay in the lineup.
And Coach, I've always been curious to ask, especially a college baseball coach, what does a typical in-season day in the life look like? I mean, what is that day-to-day grind, that kind of life look like on a day-to-day basis, especially when you're in season?
You're talking about just from a coach or a player?
Yeah, just from a coach perspective.
Well, when the season starts, in essence, there's really no days off. You're going Monday through Sunday. You have today is technically a day off. You give the players a day off, but we're in the office. We're going over Loyola Marymount, talking about our the trip details for ECU. We're talking about this last weekend, things that we can get better at. So it's a lot of little things. You're going to then talk about recruiting. We can go back out March 1st. So we had a big meeting today, went over all kinds of stuff as a staff. And then we have to get, obviously we're getting prepared for tomorrow to play Loyola Marymount. So that was a big topic. Just making sure our guys, where their bodies are at, talking to our trainers and their strength guy. So that's kind of like today, and then tomorrow we play. And then Wednesday is a practice day. They get on a red eye. They head to North Carolina. Thursday they get in and they have a light practice, and then play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, head back Sunday night. That's kind of typical for a season, because usually every Monday is declared an off day, but there's so many things going on. So when season goes, in essence, we don't stop as coaches. The days we get off are Easter on a Sunday, and then I think that's, unless you have a rain out or what have you, and then you got to try to make up that game. But that's kind of what it is. That's the things that we've done I've done this for a long time, and it's just the sacrifices that your family understands, and it's part of just the journey, that we kind of go through. So it is what it is. But like I said, you get in your routine and you do it because you have a love and passion for the game of baseball and helping these young men.
Absolutely.
Love it. And Coach, transitioning from a pitching coach, you were a pitcher, been a pitching coach all over the place. Now it's your job. It's your place. You're kind of the guy that's running everything. Talk to me about that transition for you, coming from ECU and then all the other places you've been.
When you're just a pitching coach or an assistant, you pretty much have X, Y, and Z as your responsibilities, and you make sure you do them at a high level. Now, as a head coach, there's all kinds of different hats that you're wearing, and making sure that you're staying on top of everything from your responsibilities. I'm still the pitching coach, but luckily I have someone that can help me with that and assist with kind of just watching things, the day-to-day, throwing programs, the bullpens, and all that stuff. So the transition's been a little interesting for me, to be honest with you. The first year, I didn't think I balanced it that well, because I felt I had to do so many other things with the team, outside the team, with facilities, to donors, to alumni relationships there, anything on campus needed to be done, the recruiting side. So I think the learning is like anything in life, right? You just need to get the experience and get out there and do it. But I've gotten better now, my third year, of being able to balance it a lot better, make sure I'm putting in as much time as I can with the pitchers and their development, and doing as much as I can to help them continuously grow, because I felt like kind of not neglected on purpose, but you just felt you were getting stretched in so many different areas. I was trying to prioritize my responsibilities, and sometimes I was leaning towards other things I felt were more important, and the pitchers might have kind of didn't get as much as I probably should have given them. And so I learned for last year, I got better, and I'm continuously growing in that aspect. So those are things I'm learning, but it's been great. Like I said, I've had great people with Cliff Godwin, Rick Vanderhook, George Horton, and Mike Gillespie be great mentors, and great people have helped me learn how to do all these things. So it's helped me with where I'm at today.
Gotcha.
For sure. And I want to kind of have a follow-up to that, kind of going into the day-to-day that Artie was talking about. Scheduling always interests me in college baseball, especially when a game like this gets scheduled. East Carolina, Cal State Fullerton, opposite sides of the country, really. And two historic programs. Obviously you have that connection to Coach Godwin. Talk to me about what goes into scheduling this kind of matchup, or any other kind of non-conference games.
Yeah, usually scheduling, it's crazy. You're trying to schedule a year or two in advance, because you know what your non-conference weekends are. So you usually have that ahead of time, so you can plan, the first 3 or 4 weeks. Now we're going to a conference tournament in 2025. So we used to have 4 weekends. The first 4 weekends were open. And you're always trying to figure out, hey, can we have 2 at home and 2 on the road? You're wanting to challenge yourself. I believe our philosophy is we want to challenge our guys to play against quality opponents, to see exactly where we're at, so we can evaluate ourselves. And we want to go to places that are going to be an opportunity for them. Some of these guys have never gotten out of California before. So you're just wanting to show them exactly it's still baseball, but you get to go in environments and places that are pretty special. And that's when I talked to Coach Palumbo about a year ago about scheduling, and he said that an open spot. I'm like, hey man, let's figure this out. Let's get it going. I'd love to come out if you guys are wanting it. And he goes, yeah, let's talk to Cliff, and we made it happen. And like I said, it's coming across, it's coast to coast, but it's a great opportunity for guys to learn. And I think they're going to be, and I mean, it's like anything. I tell them, like, guys, it's going to be an unbelievable environment and atmosphere. You need to really appreciate it and soak it in. And, you know, they're going to be all over you, but that's the fun part, man. You got to learn to play in places like this in order to grow and get better. It's like anything, right? If you go to, if you're blessed to be one of the 64 teams that's going to postseason, you want to make sure that they're battle tested and they want to go places and see what it's like and be in environments that are tough. So when you do get shipped somewhere because you can't host, then you want to make sure, like I said, you're battle tested and these guys know what it's like and they can do their best because they've been there and done it, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Coach, talking specifically about your relationship with Coach Godwin, what is that relationship like? And, you know, what has he kind of maybe helped done for your career? And also, you know, just your time at ECU.
Yeah, Cliff's a great guy. I don't know if you guys do know, Cliff and I, the only time we crossed paths, I think it was in 2008 when I was at UC Irvine, and he was at LSU as an assistant coach. We played against each other in a super regional. That was the last games ever at the old Alex Box Stadium. And I was in director of operations at UC Irvine. Didn't talk to Cliff when I was there, just knew that I remember him. And then, you know, the crazy thing is a guy named Bryant Ward, who's at UCLA, played at ECU. And so when I saw ECU opened up, I just reached out to Bryant and like, hey, can you call on my behalf? I always follow the program. I'm kind of a college baseball junkie, so to speak. And I knew how good ECU was. And just to speak on my behalf, and he did. And, you know, I talked to Cliff. I'm sorry, I'm kind of dragging this, but I just want you to understand a little bit of background. But it's, you know, like I said, he gave me an opportunity. I'm so blessed. One other interview with my wife, and, you know, for him to extend that opportunity has been you think about it, you're wanting to do well, but to have him do that, it means a lot to me. Like I said, I'm indebted to him, but what's grown is a great friendship that I have with him and all the coaches on that staff. So I'm very blessed. And that's why I tell people baseball has been very special. It's special, man, because the relationships you build with people. And like I said, Cliff and I didn't know each other 4.5 years ago, but we talk a good amount. I still have a house in Winterville, so I go back there frequently. And then I get to visit those guys and hang out with them. And so it's something that's special, and I'm very thankful. Like I'll call him and go, hey man, you got to help me out. I'm kind of lost in some of this head coaching stuff. You got to, break it down, and he'll jab at me a little bit to get me going. But that's Cliff. He's awesome. He's a good person, as you guys know.
Yeah, love it.
Love Cliff. Yeah, I was gonna joke that that y'all decided to schedule just so that you could come back out and eat some sup dogs. Talk about some of your favorite memories or whatnot from ECU and being in Greenville.
It's crazy, I'm from California, but the crazy thing in life is that playing professional baseball has allowed me to travel. When I was, drafted by the Rockies, so I was in Asheville, North Carolina, for one summer, and Salem, Virginia. So I had a chance to go through North Carolina and Virginia, and my wife is from Virginia, so I've been back east a lot. And so North Carolina is always a place I thought was beautiful and nice. And so going to Greenville, an opportunity, and just the people there are awesome. Not knowing, I haven't been there, just the people, the community, and knowing that they're huge baseball fans, they love the game. It was awesome. And just being there in general, like I said, the great thing is like there's so many little like mom and pop places. There's not a lot of brand names. You got Cubbies, like you said, Sub Dogs. You got Altavola. There's so many places we love to eat out there and go to and just hang out. But the times there, like I said, that's why we kept our home. To be honest with you, maybe when that time comes, I think we'll be heading back there to my time is done in baseball and we want to retire. We're looking to hopefully get back there because that's how much that place has impacted our life, and we really enjoy it there. And we have a lot of friends there, and like I said, ECU is a part of our life, and so we're excited.
Yeah. And Coach, one of the last questions I have for you, because I'm just curious about your perspective on this. when it comes to college baseball, what are some of the traditions that you find in college baseball that you can't really find at any other sport or any other level, but it's kind of specific to college baseball that you love so much?
It's a good question. Kind of put me in an interesting spot. I think the one thing I love about college baseball is just you see when you have a bunch of young men that have a passion for the game, and then you get to go places to play, just to play the game of baseball throughout the United States. To me, that's what it's just the energy and the enthusiasm, the different areas that we've been blessed to go to as a coach and as a player. I mean, all the different cities, different universities. College baseball, it's just there's nothing like it, man. They always say, "What's the greatest show on dirt?" It's so true. It is, because it's just so much fun. And like I said, it's just the passion that these guys have. And when you have a good team and a good bunch of players, to see the growth and knowing that you're having that special year, so to speak, and then you get to that postseason and and see what happens, because anything can happen, right? When you get in there, you punch your ticket. But that's one of the things I enjoy most as a coach is when you work so hard in a whole year, then you really work hard for that postseason, to be honest with you, because it's 64 teams and then anything can happen. And, I've been blessed to have been a part, I think, 5 super regionals and 1 trip to Omaha. And obviously your goal is to get to Omaha to compete for national championship, but to do the journey with all those guys, that to me was college baseball. It's just so much fun. And you get a chance to be around, different places you never thought you would be, and just to play baseball. Like I said, that to me that's what's unique. And the popularity it's getting nowadays with all this ESPN Plus. It's on TV all the time. You're talking about the ratings were the highest ever at College World Series. I think they're just seeing the enthusiasm, the passion these 18 to 22, 23-year-olds have, and it can be infectious. And that's why it's so demanding. And that's why a lot of programs, the Power 5 guys are getting better, and we got to keep working harder, because mid-majors, it is what it is. We're labeled that, but our mindset's always going to be, we want to be the best, and we're going to do little things to compete at a high level, because that's what Fullerton's done, and that's what we believe. So,
absolutely.
And to that point, I mean, Coach, everybody talks about the 11.7, right? The 11.7 scholarships that baseball gets, right? What changes to college baseball would you make to improve the game?
Well, I think that 11.7, it is, you're talking about, there's so many different schools that have some tuition, books, and fees could be up to $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Luckily, being at state schools, ECU, Cal State Fullerton, we don't have those. So we don't have to pay the in-state, but I think that's where the NIL money is coming in to help other people to supplement not just the scholarships. They're being able to pay players that they're getting everything paid for. To me, it's like, I wish they could monitor that better, because you're getting a lot of kids, especially in California now, they're all leaving. A lot of good players are heading to the bigger schools because they have better facilities and they're getting more money because the resources are there. And so we have to deal with that, and that is what it is. So it's just monitoring that. If they can extend that more, I think it'd be great for the scholarship reasons, just because 11.7, like I said, you're divvying up the best you can amongst 27 guys. That's the maximum amount you can give, up to 27 players on a roster. So you're doing your best to give that out. And like I said, some get financial aid, but this NIL is something that we're a little behind the 8 ball because we're working hard at it, but we're getting a little bit of treadway going where we can, hopefully people are the donors and they're doing their own thing to figure out how it works. Because as coaches, we can't be involved, but they're finding ways as a department to help us kind of continuously grow and keep guys, because some of those big boys are trying to pluck the mid-majors going, we got money. We're going to kind of bully you around a little bit because we want to, and again, I get it. I'm not, we're doing our best to build relationships with our players and want to keep them here. But we understand that some of these guys don't have the resources in their life and it can help their family. So I just think they can monitor that a tick better. That'd be, for me, I'd like to know, unfortunately, who are the ones that are not doing it right, and kind of they need to be punished, so to speak, for doing things kind of, in the manner that everyone was playing by the books. So yeah, there's, that to me is one of the things I think that should be monitored. And I don't know how you do it, but that's not for the sort of the NCAA to figure out. They're the ones that created this. So I think they need to figure out how to do a better job of making sure. Because the playing field, I think at times we feel it's separating a little bit right now. and as we continuously work hard to keep on growing in college baseball, there's a little bit of a shift right now, as you're seeing. And that's something that, to continue with the 300 Division I baseball programs, we all need to make sure we're doing our best to keep us all to as equal as possible. It's not going to always be that way, but we understand and we're okay with that. But there's still you don't want to be these Power Fives are going to branch off and do their own thing, and then everyone else are in a different division or a different 1AA now. I don't know. It seems like that you can go that direction. I'm not sure, but you're hearing all the rumblings out there, and there's always all the hearsay. Hopefully it's that doesn't happen, but crazier things have happened, as you know.
Yeah.
For sure. And thank you honestly for the candid answer. I love that. I just have one more question, and I kind of joked about it earlier about going to Sup Dogs. We ask every guest that comes on the Boneyard podcast this question. When you go to Sup Dogs, I'm sure, are you taking the team this weekend to Sup Dogs? Are you?
I'm not. No, I'm not taking them. Greatest things, I've only been there once.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Once, yeah. So I'm kind of that coach going, no, that's a popularity, and that's where all the guys are going to be, and students. I'm kind of the one that goes, let me go away from those places because, family. So I'm kind of like, I'll go away to different places, and I've only been there once, but it was with some former players, and just to have, I forgot what I got to eat, but.
Oh, well, that was going to be the question was what was your Sup Dogs order? But if you can't remember, that's fine. What was maybe then your favorite place to eat in Greenville?
There's numerous places. Sam Jones is a place. I mean, the best wings, I believe, are there. Altavola is a family place. We love going there for the Italian food. That's there. So those are just two that come to mind that we really love. Obviously, Wasabi 55. That's a good little place. Like I said, we have random places that Cubbies, like I said, I like going there too. It's, it depends on kind of what mood we're in, but there's a lot of great places to eat there. And we're just, so we try to venture off to make sure we're going to support all the local restaurants, because they do a great job. The food's great. And that's why I got to keep walking and exercising and doing something.
Thanks.
For sure. Yeah. And then I did think of one last question that I wanted to ask, and I meant to ask this earlier. You talked about the environment in the jungle. We saw a great matchup yesterday, ECU Carolina. Have you talked much with the outfielders? I know you said you mentioned it, but have you talked to them about what to expect going into the jungle?
I told them, I go, it's going to be very quiet out there. There'll be a little church mice will be out there. So you'll be fine. So don't say anything. I just said, hey, man, I can't prepare you for what's going to be out there. They're going to know a lot about you, and they're going to be on you, but they do it in a very, it's just, that's what's a home field advantage is all about. I just said, hey, it's something I told all the outfitters, just enjoy it, man. Relish it. Have fun. Don't ever take it personal. But I go, you're going to experience some fun stuff out there. And like I said, that's what it's all about. You're going to see what it's like to see what a passionate fan base is about. So I shared a lot of that with them, and I go, but guys, I can keep talking to you about it, but until Saturday, you're not going to know what it's really like. So just I want you to take a step back, take that good breath, and enjoy it, because like I said, it's going to be a good crowd there. And they support their Pirates at a high level. And like I said, it's one of for me, and I don't know if it's biased, but having experienced that in 2021, especially in that regional, when we beat Charlotte, the place was rocking. It was unbelievable. And I shared that with them. And then when we beat Maryland to go to the Supers against Vandy, it was still rocking. I mean, that place is, then I went, when you guys were, I went to the regional and the super regional that you hosted a couple years ago. And that was just, just support, obviously, the program, support the coaches. It was a blast too. It's amazing how much noise can be there when it's 6,000 people. It sounds like it's freaking 25, 30,000 people. It sounds like so many people.
I think the numbers are fudged a little bit, but yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I equated one time I was at that super regional, and it felt like a jet engine taking off next to you at times.
It is. That's what's fun. That's what's awesome. That's where, again, and that's where I told our guys, like, we have to, you need to experience this. And that's where, some people call it a bucket list, and I want them to, the blessing of being there, but I want them to enjoy it. And that's part of the scheduling piece too, right? We want to go different places and experience the good things. And that's what, you want that student athlete's experience to be positive. So when they leave, like, I had an unbelievable college experience. And I know this is going to be one of the things that they're going to be like, ECU is going to be unbelievable when they walk away. And they're like, this is, Coach, I'm glad you took us. I'm like, well, let's see how we do first, right? If we had a rough weekend, I'm like, it was awesome. We love seeing everybody, but gosh dang, we got to get better. Or hopefully we did okay. We'll see, right?
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck on Friday and Sunday. And we wish you safe travels out here to North Carolina, to you and the team.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. And like I said, I always root for the Pirates, except one time this year. So
we'll let you not root for us on Saturday. That'll be fine. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yeah, the coach.
We'll talk soon.
Okay, you guys take care.
You too.
Have a good one.